so much blood.
Yeah. If you are readers or Joel, if you need a tool to help you get through some of those like slog
Mm,
of Old Testament books like Numbers
yep.
and
And this dude
Job,
had these kids. And then this dude had these
and there
kids.
were 379 pounds of grain that they used. I don't care.
I don't care and I want to. Am I supposed to care?
Maybe I should want to care.
Yeah, we're going. Yeah, ooh, shoeless.
I'm always shoeless. This is how you know that Sarah is comfy, talking about all the things. Is I kick off my shoes, I grab my cozy, I curl up, and I'm like, let's get real.
I like that. That was a good opening.
I didn't even plan it that way.
We should go with that. Welcome again, everybody, to Get Real. We are going to have some real conversations yet again, as we normally do.
That's right, because we are here. My name is Sarah. This is my friend Joel.
Hi.
We are a couple pastors who believe that faith should feel relevant.
Yep.
And impactful for our everyday lives in our everyday language.
Yeah. So we like to just have real conversations. We've been doing that for several episodes now. We're getting great feedback.
Yeah, on weird words we use only at church.
Yep. Yeah. So we want to encourage you, if you haven't yet, subscribe.
Yeah.
You know, I always make fun of YouTubers who used to say like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
But now I get it.
It's because it
I
feels
understand.
like a very niche demographic.
It does.
They're all like 16 to 26 and girls. And they talk like this. Oh my gosh,
Like
I'm
and
so
subscribe.
judgy. I'm so sorry. It's
That's
better
okay.
that I say it than you say it, maybe.
Um,
It's probably better that
yeah.
no one says it.
Probably, but I do have good news for you.
Yeah?
Some of the words that we're going over today will make you feel better about your recent sin
Oh,
of
good?
making fun of other people.
No. I'm going to get called out again. You know, this is real faith and conversation. Sometimes you get called out in weird moments in very
true.
public places.
Yep, and you know, we're willing to do that, and it's okay.
I'm willing to show you how to fumble your way through that.
This is how not to do.
Or-
What was wasn't that the old Goofy cartoons? Do you remember those? The old, like, how not
like where
to?
he's
Oh, no, that
very
was from a different show.
forwardly?
Yeah, his were how to ski. Okay, here's it. See if you remember this. Did you ever watch, oh, bummer, I can't think of what it was.
I don't know if I did watch that, Joel.
It was with Dave Coulier from Uncle Joey. No, Uncle Joey from Full House. And he had this other show, and it was this variety Saturday morning show, and they would have this little angry bald guy who would do this little animated thing on how not to do something.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Well, I know what I'll be YouTubing later. Hopefully it's there. But
So, fun fact
We
that
digress.
might actually be good to know as we go into today's Word Nerd episode.
word nerds.
Word nerds, push up your glasses.
Thanks.
I actually lived most of my life without access to like TV in my childhood.
I don't know how to be. How did you, what?
I know. I did
I am
this thing.
so sorry.
I did this thing called reading.
Ew.
I know, right? Probably part of the word nerd origin story there. So oftentimes when
Ugh.
people are like, did you ever watch that? And I'm like, no,
Oh,
I didn't. I did not.
okay. Well, then
But
if
I did read Robinson Crusoe before I was a teenager.
that was the guy from Neverland, right?
So close. Not even.
Okay, good. Yeah. I don't know how I attached that in my head.
That's
Wow.
okay.
Yeah.
There's a ship and there's pirates. And...
Oh, I think I went Robin Williams.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He was great, though.
Yes. Hook.
One of my
So good.
favorites ever.
Did you hear they're making a second Hook 2?
I'm a little skeptical because
am
why
a lot
touch
skeptical.
something that beautiful?
Yeah. This is my uneducated opinion. Well, no, I'm educated, but I don't know what it means and how, like, to make a movie and all that. But I
Yeah.
would love to say a collective, all of us say to Hollywood, start making new stuff.
I would
Start
like...
redoing the things.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I know that there's quote unquote nothing new under the sun. And like you can redo some origin story ideas, like how Romeo and Juliet is a remaking of Romeo and Juliet, and yet it completely stands on its own.
Yes. True.
So like do more nomios.
I feel like this could be a series. Maybe we need to do some sort of series.
Let us tell you how to do better, everyone.
Yes.
From
Yeah,
our
let us give
high
you
and mighty
advice.
couches.
Yeah. While we sit here with our
While we sit
coffees.
here.
We digress. But that's honestly, that's probably why you're here. So today is our last episode of Word Nerds.
Unless, and this is what I'm asking for all of you listeners,
Ooh.
if we have not touched on a weird church word that you would like us to talk about, then drop it in the comments, shoot us a message, and I will fight Joel to make sure we get a bonus episode in eventually
Nice.
with all of the word nerd things you need us to talk about.
Luckily, Joel's not very combative, so
yeah,
I'd
I just have
probably agree
to
it
threaten
right
him
now.
and he'll be like, fine.
Okay. So today, today we're going to do creepy words. So this is Word Nerds episode 4, and today is creepy words. And this came out of my crazy brain because as Sarah and I were putting together all these other lists of words, I was amazed at how many of these words
sound creepy.
Creepy, yeah. As you know, I like heavy metal.
Mhm.
I like a good scary movie. Not like gross scary movies. I don't like that. But like there's lots of thrillers and different scary movies that use a lot of these words that we have been coming up with.
Yeah.
And I found that very curious.
It is very curious.
I found it interesting. And I thought, we should do an episode on creepy words.
Because there are some creepy things. I remember bringing a friend to youth group way back in the day, and they came in, and the youth pastor was doing a great job talking about how we need to die to flesh and be washed in the blood. And my friend was like, I didn't know you were in a cult. Like, they didn't say that, but they thought it.
Her eyes just said that.
This is weird, you guys.
Mhm.
And it is, especially if you've never paused to actually consider, like, what do we mean by dying to the flesh? Or your flesh is going to try to take over you, or like, we're going to drink the blood.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
That sounds weird.
Yeah, everybody, imagine with us if you had not been in church ever, didn't know about Jesus, and you go and you hear everybody gets the same little cup of something, and then the pastor at the front talks about drinking the blood
and eating the flesh.
And that sounds weird.
I didn't know you were a cannibal.
and we're not making judgments, or we're not trying to be or irreligious or anything, but to our culture, that's odd.
It is odd. And when our culture asks questions, which hopefully that happens, like we actually want people who didn't grow up in church to ask us, like, hey, what do you mean by that? And when they ask, we need to have an answer.
Yep.
So
it's true.
This is us pausing to acknowledge the weird and creepy aspects and to hopefully give all of us kind of a confidence boost.
Yeah. And I think over the last couple episodes, we kept coming up with this theme too. The reason we want to know these things, and the reason we want you to and want ourselves to, is so that we can know in the right moment, but really so we can have a better understanding. Because sometimes some of this confusion, it seems to come out of a lack of understanding.
Yeah.
How many times would we be like, oh, actually, I don't know.
Actually, that's a good question.
Yeah.
And I don't want to have to be like typing with ChatGPT under the coffee table as I'm with a friend who's like, what do you mean by the dry bones are coming to life?
Should I be afraid?
I'm like, that's good. It's not a zombie because zombies have fleshy and we're talking about skeletons. But let me get back to you. We want to avoid that.
Is quiet.
So instead, let's talk about the creepy words.
Creepy
Joel.
words, yes. And so the whole lens that we're looking at this today is the fact that as culture changes, word meanings kind of change.
Yes.
And the gospel has never changed, and it never will. Jesus is still Jesus. The gospel is still the good news by which we are saved. However, some of these words that we are so accustomed to using have changed, and that can make it look odd to those who aren't inside the faith.
Yeah.
However, it also can cause a lot of confusion for us.
Yeah.
Because there's some of these words that we hear so much through culture that sometimes we forget what it actually means to our faith.
It's kind of like, did you ever know your great-grandparents?
I knew both my great-grandmas.
Okay. So you have heard of their parents, right?
Yeah.
And the further we get in generations removed from a person, the more distilled or vague a description of them becomes.
Yes.
And it's less familiar. And to me, right, I got to know a couple of my great-grandparents, but even then it's been many decades since I've seen them, talked to them, used their names in regular dialogue.
Yeah.
And so I, even just with the people that I've known, can start to misremember them or, not think about it and just be like, yeah, my great-grandma's name was, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
And so in the same way, words we need to spend time with them and actually think about what they mean, make it personal to our lives occasionally, because otherwise it just becomes distant and vague.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And as I said before, a lot of these, the distance and the vagueness has come through Hollywood, and just pop culture adopting some of these words for a certain genre, really. And it seems like a lot around the horror movie or thrillers or
death metal.
A lot of these words are used. And so words like atonement or sacrifice.
Oh, yeah.
There's
it's like you see them in red dripping letters on the top
classic
of a poster.
metal language. Yeah. Metal font. Yeah. Like there's mortification.
Yeah.
That was a great heavy metal Christian band.
I will take your word for it.
Yes, yeah. And I think they're still around. But I remember them. But yeah, so what we're going to do is I think I have 7 words for us today, and we're going to unpack some of these. And I'd love to know in the comments. Let me know, let us know where have you heard some of these?
Yeah.
And what have some of these words meant to you?
Yeah. If one of these words we say and you immediately flash back to a pivotal, scary moment when you're 13 years old and you watch that movie at the friend's house and you're like, I can never hear that word without immediately feeling like a scared 13-year-old. I want to know.
Yeah.
Mostly because it makes me feel less weird and alone.
Yeah. If you hear one of these words and then all of a sudden wake up a half hour later in the fetal position on the floor, we are very sorry. And you should call BetterHelp.
I want to be really snarky and be like, before you move, have a friend take your picture. I want proof. I have a very dark and twisted sense of humor. I'm praying about it. It's fine. All right. Where are we starting?
First word is atonement.
Hey.
Atonement.
Now, that's a weird one, no matter if you associate it with creepy movies or not.
True. Yeah.
Because it's not something that we use in our Western modern language. Period.
Typically. What sort of images for you come to mind culturally? And I'm trying to think of these through the lens of somebody who hasn't been in church.
Like it's definitely got the creepy silhouette on a movie poster.
Yeah.
Vibe.
Yep.
That's what I think of if I'm trying to not put on my Bible scholar cap. That's where I'm going to go.
Same. I think of crazy cult leaders who are all of a sudden saying how somebody needs to die, like you need to.
It is death.
It needs to be.
It is death.
Always death.
100% of the time.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's always the death.
Yes.
Yeah, atonement.
And it's a negative death.
Yeah, it's never a positive one.
It's never like, great Aunt Sally gets to go be with Jesus. No, it's like death. Yeah.
Yeah. It sounds like a spell. Often.
Oh, yeah.
Which I thought was interesting. Associated with sacrifice, with blood, and with death, where we typically hear it, or in culture, are those things. But now inside the church, when do we hear these words? We hear them a lot around Easter time, so Good Friday services.
Yep. And do you know why?
Oh, tell us.
It's because Passover is when the Jewish festival that was happening during Easter, what we call Easter, it was Passover. And that's when they would sacrifice a lamb, death, and to pay for or cover the sins of the people. And so everyone would bring their sacrifices for atonement to be made right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what Jesus was for us.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been pretty fun. I'm teaching a Bible class right now. And this next week, we're going to be talking about all of these different places, Old Testament from Genesis all the way to Revelation, where God is giving hints of the atonement that Jesus is going to be. He is called the Passover Lamb multiple times throughout the Bible. So
cool. See, we are changing these words, hopefully, because it is a very, well, for us, for Christians, it is a very happy word.
It should be
positive.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I don't love that Jesus had to be the atonement for my sins.
Yeah. And it's your fault.
Right. I don't love that. And I'm a very messy human. There's no way, shape, or form I don't need someone to atone for my sins.
Yeah.
And I can never do that myself.
Yep. Same. It makes me grateful. The older I get and the more I grow in my faith, the more I realize that I am a bozo and cannot figure out the simplest things in my life.
Yes.
And I am so grateful for the atonement
Yes.
if through the blood of Jesus that makes this unworthy dude A-okay with God.
Yeah. But even like, let's pause for a second because I have a very dear friend who thinks of atonement and like the fact that we have to have someone die for our sins and connects it with like the image of an angry God in the clouds, Old Testament style.
Oh.
Like there's thunder and lightning on the top of a mountain and God is like, why are you doing that?
Because you did that bad thing, that guy or that animal has to die.
Again, angry death. And so I want to pause and think about that for a second because is God the angry God?
Oh.
Is Old Testament God a bad time and New Testament Jesus, like we're here for him? And I like to focus on the fact that the Old Testament says that God is really slow to anger. He really likes us.
Mm-hmm.
He started trying to rebuild relationship with us so quickly after the fall of Adam and Eve and sin and all of that. He's like, hey, I want to make the whole world right. And so he starts building relationship with mankind. And because we're stupid, he has to do it.
I would read your Bible translation if you had one. I love that.
It would be very snarky. I'd have to like make an emoji with like my side eyes and raised eyebrows. Like, are you listening right now? But like we're really stupid. But he started with Abraham in Genesis in chapter 12. And he's like, hey, I want to make the whole world happy again. Everything's bad right now. I know. But walk with me and I'm going to make the world better because of our relationship.
Yeah, that is a precursor to one of our other words. Super good. So you get to expound on that even more.
I didn't even know, you guys.
So great.
Word nerd level up.
Yeah. So I picked up verse Leviticus 17:11, and this is why. So I'm doing a 2 years through the Bible right now.
Oh yeah.
So I haven't gone through the entire Bible for several years, and I just finished Job, and I know Numbers and Leviticus is coming up. Yeah, I know, right? I really feel like Job could be summarized in, or at least their conversation of like, you sinned, nuh-uh, nuh-uh, nuh-uh. God steps in, boom, done.
Yeah, he's like, all y'all are fools.
Yeah, you idiot.
I feel like that God thinks that a lot about me. But then there's like that, like, oh, you my idiot at least.
How did I get there? Oh, Leviticus. Because there are important things in there.
There are.
Right? It's not just good that we know our history, the history of the world and Christianity and all that, but it's good to know, like right here, Leviticus 17:11, for the life of a creature is in the blood, and I have given it to you to make atonement for yourselves on the altar. It is the blood that makes atonement for one's life.
I feel like we're going to talk about blood a lot later too.
Likely. So much blood.
Yeah. If you are readers or Joel, if you need a tool to help you get through some of those like slog of Old Testament books like Numbers and Job.
And this dude had these kids. And then this dude had these kids.
And there were 379 pounds of grain that they used. I don't care.
I don't care and I want to. Am I supposed to care?
Maybe I should want to care. But if you need a good tool, my favorite way to read through some of those Old Testament books is with Tara Lee Cobble in the Bible Recap.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Tara Lee does a great job of pointing out like the cultural relevance and the history things, the word magic of Hebrew that I might miss as a modern American reader. And it really shows me how and why God wanted me to read the so-and-so begot so-and-so begot so-and-so. And so
super good.
Yeah.
She's the Bible in 1 year podcast thing, right?
Oh, she does
Is
that.
that all?
Recap is
Bible
how they do that.
Okay, there you go.
The Bible Recap.
Shout out to Tara. There you go.
Tara, love you.
So, atonement. And this is info I got from the Bible Project, so another great podcast.
That is another good one.
Yeah, and I hadn't watched their videos for a while. Madeline and I started doing a devotional. Yeah, their new stuff, their animation is
so good.
Beautiful. So
if
good.
You're a visual learner, Bible Project.
Seriously. But they say the Hebrew word for atonement, kippur, means two things. It means to repay a debt and to purify. And whether we're talking about the Levitical sacrifices or Jesus' death on the cross, atonement is not simply an event that happens when a blameless one dies. The life of a blameless representative is atoning too.
What do you mean by that?
So
tell me more.
Think of it like this. So atonement can also be at-one-ment. So like the repaying of the debt, and that is our debt because we sinned.
Yes.
Right? Because we are sinful beings. And that needs to be like that's what the whole sacrificial system was for, right? To cleanse and purify the people.
Yeah.
There would be sacrifices of a variety of different animals depending on what the offense was, right?
Yep.
And so Jesus is that atonement. And so that was just the making right, the purifying.
So let me use a modern example. Tell me, how sacrilegious am I?
Oh, okay. Ready. I'm ready to shoot you down.
Let's pretend that our spiritual souls are our driver's license and driver's records.
Oh.
Okay. Now, all of us at some point in time have broken a law when it comes to driving. And if you say you haven't, then I want to talk to you about pride and lying. But at some point in time, purposefully or not, we've crept over the lines, or we've sped too much, or we didn't leave the 3 cars distance between me and the car in front of us. Even if it's bigger than that, we've done something. And so in this analogy, as soon as we have broken a traffic law, that is on our eternal, everlasting record.
Your permanent record.
I am known as a big blotchy stain.
Sara the speeder.
Sara the speeder. It's definitely speeding. But I'm working on it. Don't worry about it. So Jesus comes in, and he is the only one that has never, ever, ever, even accidentally, broken any traffic laws. And so in this analogy, if you've broken a traffic law, you automatically have your license revoked. You are no longer able to drive. You cannot have people in your car. Like, no. And however, Jesus comes in, he's like, hey, my traffic record, the blameless one, I'm going to put that right over on top of Sara. She is now able to drive again, to partner with me, to go on road trips with people. Like, we are good. And so at one moment, Jesus came in and wiped away my past record and put his own record on my file. Is that right?
I think that's right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
That's really good. I haven't thought about that analogy. I like that.
I just came up with it.
Hey,
my little
bravo.
ADHD creative brain. There's a flaw in there somewhere. It's okay.
And I think, a good way, I got this from the Bible Project as well, to think of it is at-one-ment. So being made one again, being made okay.
Yeah.
And then also to think about it, not as our way of paying to get right with God again, but God's gift to humanity.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's not, we could never pay the way in.
No.
The price is way too high.
So with atonement, when we hear this, there's, now that we clarify it a bit, there's a variety of ways that we could say it instead. And I had a couple ideas.
Okay.
So instead of atonement, or if you're sitting there, like confused, okay, atonement, how can I say this differently? I thought repaying a debt.
Yep.
Washing clean.
Yeah.
Yeah. Trying to think of ways that we say, if I was talking to my neighbor in that sort of language, I wouldn't talk about atonement. I would talk about being cleaned.
Or being made right.
Made right.
Like, have you ever seen those china cups that break and then they are made more valuable by
Kintsugi?
Yeah. So it's I'm fully repaired.
Yeah. I think there's a Death Cab album, which is not metal. You'd think it is.
The name Death is in there.
Yeah. The guys from Bellingham, they're huge.
I didn't know that.
Front runners of emo. And they're still going. They're great.
Washington is known for our emo.
Yeah. Music. So much rain.
It's because we're dark and depressed and stuck inside for way too long.
So the next word, I don't know. Okay, so that's atonement. Next word is, and you were kind of getting at this, the next word is covenant.
Favorite church words.
Yeah, and again.
Why is it creepy?
Well, think about covenant outside of the church. If
marriage.
You didn't have marriage, it's there. Yeah, true. But how many times have you heard of, I think like Alien Covenant. Like there's a movie, Alien Covenant. You probably don't watch the Alien movies.
I'm a sheltered little girl.
Yeah, I know your husband loves the Alien movies.
Probably, but he also knows to watch them without me.
Yep, as I do without Amy.
There's already so much stress in life. I don't need more.
But covenant also just harkens to these cultish type things.
That's true.
Scary movie-wise. it was a covenant you couldn't break. Things like that.
That was a good movie,
Thank you.
promo voice.
Hey, maybe that'll be my next podcast. How a nasally voiced person can have, but
my best.
or like Blood Covenant. I think that's the name of a movie. I don't remember what it is though, and I don't think I've watched it. But it sounds good.
Yeah.
Blood Covenant. It just harkens to ancient,
ritualistic agreements.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's what it kind of brings up the images of covenant. It's not typically in regular everyday vernacular.
No, it's not.
We don't use covenant. I have made a covenant in my marriage with Amy.
Yeah, and it's called a marriage covenant.
Yeah. But I don't use the word covenant.
No.
Because
We use
it sounds
vows.
old. Vows. Yeah. Sounds old.
Yeah.
And it maybe feels a bit out of date.
I concur.
Yeah.
So, did you know that covenant is just a relationship agreement?
No. Yes.
Okay.
Yesterday I learned that.
Nice.
Kind of. So I'm familiar with that concept.
Yeah. I like it that way because that's how we use it in marriage, right?
Yeah.
When I married my husband, I was like, hey, I'm going to support you. I'm going to be there for you in better and in worse and in poor and in health and all the things, good and bad. You and me, ride or die. I mean, that's not literally what I said, but that's the heart behind what I said. And he did the same for me. And so we agreed on some certain standards. Like, I'm going to respect you. I'm going to speak kindly of you. Outside of our marriage, he and I have talked about how when we talk about our relationship with others, we're only going to use words that build up and show honor and respect. That doesn't mean he's perfect or that I'm perfect. But even when we're like, I don't know how to traverse this marriage thing, we're never going to use words that demean or destroy.
That's good. Yeah.
And so that's one relationship agreement that we have. Now, in the Bible, all of the relationship agreements between man and God are always started by God. Never ever has man been like, hey, I know how to fix this. Come listen to me. No.
Nope.
Nope.
It's always like, God, I have an idea for you. And it doesn't work.
No, man doesn't even do that. Man is like, humanity is like, I know how to be like God. Watch me build a tower. Watch me eat this fruit. Watch me kill the one guy who looks better than me. Yeah.
And then it's usually God coming in on that, like, hey, what you doing? Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
So
have you looked at what my friend is doing? Because you should pay more attention to them.
yeah, she gave it to me.
Yeah, that's the vibe. So let's talk about biblical covenants.
Biblical covenants. And this was very interesting. I knew of these, but I hadn't really thought in depth about a lot of these. But we have, hey, look at that. I'm assaulting us with our microphones. We have 5 different covenants here that we see God starting through the Old Testament and then coming to the New Testament, which
is the word covenant. That's my favorite,
the new
spoiler,
covenant.
When I'm like, so you're new to the Bible, Old Testament, New Testament, you can talk about it like that. But Testament is just a report of your covenant.
You know what I think of when I hear the word testaments? Did you ever get those mints from the Christian bookstore? They were called testaments.
That is the worst Christian pun I have heard to date.
I never got them, but I always thought that was sort of clever.
The coffee shop.
Oh yeah, we have that in our green room right now.
Oh, facepalm.
So the first covenant was you are studying, so you might have to help me with pronunciation. The Noahic?
Just Noah's covenant. Let's just not try to be smarter than we are.
Oh, good.
It was the covenant between God and Noah.
Noah! Yeah. And so here God enters a formal relationship with Noah and all living creatures, promising that despite humanity's corruption, he'll never again flood the earth. That's a great covenant.
I like this one.
Yeah,
I mean, sometimes it feels like we're creeping close because there's been a lot of floods around the world lately.
True. Yep.
But no matter how stupid and depraved and messed up we are, God's not going to wipe us all out in one cataclysmic event.
Yes. So there's that one.
I like that.
Time goes on. And then the Abraham covenant.
Abrahamic?
Abrahamic?
That's weird.
Or is it Abrahamic? That wouldn't make sense either.
Abraham and God. God came to Abraham.
Yeah. Now I'm just going to try to make it more complicated. So God promises Abraham a huge family that will inherit the piece of land in Canaan and bring universal blessing to all humanity.
Yeah.
That's a pretty big step.
It is. And it actually doesn't even talk about the promised land in the first covenant verses with Abraham. God's like, hey, I do need you to leave behind your old life, which is still what he asks us to do today, behind our old ways of life, and instead go where I'm going to take you. Go, I'm going to point it out, but it's going to be a journey, and the journey is actually the point. So I'm going to go, and when you do that, I will bless those who bless you. I will curse those who curse you. I'm going to make the whole world better through this relationship. And that's still the promise today. Same God yesterday, today, and tomorrow.
Super awesome. After that was the Mosaic covenant. I know that one because of art. After Exodus, God promises to make Israel into a holy kingdom of priests that will spread his blessing and glory to all the nations. So that's cool.
Yeah. Did you notice it gets bigger every time?
I did now. Hey, cool. Yeah. Well, yeah. And then, because then next, the Davidic covenant, God promising to make his name great and raise up a descendant from David's line whose throne and kingdom will last forever. Forever.
Yeah. So we start with Noah when it's just Noah and his family on the earth because everyone else has been wiped off by the flood.
Yeah. I will never again wipe all 7 of you off of the planet. There's more than that.
8.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because Noah had 3 sons. His 3 sons had daughter. 3 times 2 is 6 plus Noah and his wife.
Boom.
Anyway, so we have 8. And then we have Abraham, which you might be like, well, Abraham only had Sarah. Yeah, but he also had all of his people that he brought with him. He was a rich guy. He had shepherds and his stewards and all the people. And Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob are often kind of lumped into one. They're the forefathers of Israel. So that family line is what we're talking about. But then it becomes a nation. And that's where Moses starts that covenant. Or God starts it with Moses. And then that kingdom's established. And then that kingdom line is confirmed. We're still in relationship agreement, guys.
Yeah.
I still got you.
And did that cover the David one as well?
Yep.
You're saying? Yep. Yeah. And then the new covenant, the New Testament.
Yeah.
And that's when Jesus comes on the scene. The new covenant is everlasting, and God will write his law on the hearts of his people, bring complete forgiveness of sin, and raise up a faithful king from the line of David who will restore all that has been broken. I got all that wording from the Bible Project because it was just so great. I love how they said that.
You don't need to change it.
Super good. Nope. Now, we're talking about all this. How wonderful and uplifting and positive and faith-filling is this? But we're talking again about creepy words. Covenant can have a dark, dreary feel if you choose to look at it through the lens of culture. But if we look back at the roots of it, covenant is at its the most simplest form, it's a relational agreement. But in the eyes of through Christianity, it's our hope.
Yeah.
It's good.
It's a very good thing. One of the things I think is most amazing, if you look at the Old Testament law, which is like the rules of the relationship agreement, it can get overwhelming and very nitpicky, it feels at times. Like where you should wash your hands and when you should eat certain things and all of that. And I think that's where we get lost a lot of the time. But God was just trying to the people asked for IKEA level instructions to life. They're like, yeah, we'll be your people, but also how? But you didn't give us very many instructions, so we just added more of our own. And he's like, no, stop that. Here's how. And so we just keep adding weird rules because we don't understand until Jesus. And Jesus is asked, hey, how do we keep the covenant? What are the most important things we need to think about? And he breaks all of those 613 Leviticus, Deuteronomy rules into 2. And so instead of it getting more complicated, the closer we get to God, the more simplistic it becomes. And he is so kind in that. Yeah. We're not signing away our lives to some really complicated life contract with some overbearing, angry God who's going to be like, I knew it, you broke it.
I was watching, I saw that.
Right? Instead, the one for all atonement that Jesus paid makes us able to enter this relationship agreement where all God wants is for us to love him with everything we can and to love others. That's it.
Yeah.
I want to be a part of that kind of relationship agreement.
Yeah, same. Isn't this great? We're redeeming these words.
I like it.
Okay, let's move on to the next one.
Yes.
That probably makes people squirm a bit. So the next word is oh wait, no, I wanted to reframe the last one. So in your eyes, what if we said God's promise instead of covenant? Or just a promise? Does that work?
I like relationship agreement. Like when you were younger,
yeah.
Yeah, because it is two-way. God is not just saying, hey, don't worry, I got you, boo. He's saying, hey, come do life with me.
Yeah, and I have a part in that too.
Yeah.
So it's not just his promise. Okay, yeah.
So it's like a roommate agreement when you moved in with someone when you were like a young adult.
Yes.
You're like, okay, I promise I will always wash my dishes. If God was your roommate, he'd be like, I love that you're going to try your best. Also, as long as you keep trying, we're good. Just being here.
That was really good. That was a good analogy. I promise I won't cook fish in the microwave at 2 a.m.
Oh, gross. Like I
That's
have an
probably the
internal
unpardonable
gag
sin.
reflex. Blah, blah.
Okay, I guess we're done today, folks. Thanks for tuning. Okay, next word, flesh.
I hate this one.
I know flesh. Flesh.
It's like
Just
moist.
It's just one of those words it's just icky. This is bleh. And why? But let's pick that apart. So the psychologist in me likes to figure out, okay, it is just a series of sounds, right?
Technically.
Right? Flesh.
No,
what is it?
Going slower does not make it better.
What is it about that makes us cringe?
I feel like at a basic human biological level, you shouldn't see my flesh. You should see my skin, but my skin is covering like the fleshy parts.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Right? And even modesty levels, like my clothes are even covering most of my skin.
Yeah.
And so like my flesh should not be something we talk about.
So when you're talking about that, you are focusing on the physical, like your epidermis,
like
right?
At our basic level of human beings, if my flesh is on display, I'm probably cut open and bleeding and dying.
Oh, so you don't just mean your epidermis. You mean...
I mean like my
your
internal
liver.
Organs.
Okay.
Should not be something that we are looking at.
Fair. And that jives with Amy and I got really into The Walking Dead a while ago.
Yes.
Don't judge me, but if you like it, then drop a note in the comments. Flesh everywhere, but rotting flesh, right? So apparently this word bothers Sarah more than it does me, and I'm finding myself saying it more just
because he likes to see me go, yeah,
flesh,
ew,
flesh,
It's like a Mufasa with the hyenas.
Yeah, say it again. So this is totally like this word brings up two different things: zombies and adult themes. Right?
Yeah, adult content that your children should not be listening to us describe, which we won't, because we want you guys to listen to this with your kids.
We are a PG show.
Mostly, I think. I hope.
Yeah, I like to think so. Yeah.
But yeah, in the Bible,
we've
spent a lot of time together, Joel. In like the New Testament, when it talks about these are the things of the flesh, it's really inappropriate content.
Yeah, and that's probably why we get that connotation. Yeah, because things of the flesh equals bad.
Yeah.
Equals things I shouldn't do or take part in.
Or things that my mom and dad don't even want to describe to me.
Yeah.
Like that's how bad they are.
Flesh. Yeah. So that is the problem with this creepy word. Creepy or gross-ish. Gross cultural connotation.
It's an off-limits word.
Yeah.
It's just something.
Could this one have been in our vote off the island one, you think?
I think it's too biblical to vote off.
Yeah, probably. Because I think it really explains things well. So let's get into what it actually means. So talk a little bit more about when you were saying how when the Bible talks about our flesh.
Yeah.
Like what's Paul talking about? What's Jesus talking about?
So my go-to, because it's helpful for many things, is Galatians 5. If you go to Galatians 5, it's written by Paul. Mm-hmm. This is near the end of his letter to the church in Galatia. And he's talking about how, okay, here's how we do life. We are here for the good news that Jesus paid the way for us. We're going to do life with him. Good news, good news, good news. And then at the end of the letter, he's like, by the way, don't do these things. The things of the flesh. Yeah. And it very much switches tones very quickly. And I'm like, it's like dad voice.
Yeah. It's
like, oh no, we're in trouble.
Fun dad, strict dad.
That's
all of
right.
a sudden. And then, he gets everybody's attention.
And he's like, don't do these things. And it's very descriptive, sometimes not very helpful, because it doesn't use words we use today. It's like the ancient Greek and Roman culture and what they would describe for sins of the flesh. Mm-hmm. So you can go look it up. Again, we want to avoid some words that your kids might ask you to describe. So instead, just go read the Bible with them and then they'll ask you there, and it won't be our fault. But Paul goes through a list, and there's like over 10 things that are sins of the flesh. And they're not all to do with mommy daddy time. I'm trying really hard to find good words here. It's fun to watch, Joel.
You're just trying to make me cringe now.
So It's not all that, but
Yeah.
sometimes it's like gluttony and rage.
Drunkenness.
Yes,
Yeah.
those are also things that are sins of the flesh.
Mhm.
And then it switches back to really happy tones. Instead, you'll do these things that are things of the Spirit. And it's our fruit of the Spirit stuff.
Hey, love, joy, peace,
Peace.
patience.
Yeah, patience, joy, happiness, kindness. Happiness is not in there, but it's that vibe. And so when you think of the flesh, it's most often the Bible's way of looking at how does God want us to do life? Flesh is the opposite.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like black and white,
Mm.
right? It's not talking about my internal organs.
No, your pancreas is bad.
Maybe. So there's a
I
doctor
guess it
for
could be,
that.
yeah.
It's not that. It's like, okay, we have the things of another phrase that we use in church is of the world.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the same vibe.
Okay, because the earth is not evil.
No.
But the general way of those who live on the earth.
Just all humanity, period.
Yeah.
Christians, non-Christians. Like if you are human, you have a tendency to do things your own way.
Yeah.
And that usually ends up breaking or hurting relationships between you and others or you and God.
Yep.
Or even hurting your own view of self.
Ooh, yeah. True. Very true.
And so all of those things are the tendencies of the flesh and of the world. And instead, we're trying to get rid of those tendencies and trying to have our natural instinct be things of the Spirit, of God.
Yeah. Would you say, so as we think towards a rephrase, it's funny. I don't think we normally film when there's a Bible study in the other room. And if you hear the door constantly opening and closing, we're sort of sorry. But I mean, it's an active church.
I bet some of you listening right now are the ones opening and closing doors.
Thanks.
So you're a part of the podcast.
Yay! Door solo. Would you say, because I like to think of it, instead of saying the flesh, putting it in modern vernacular would be something like my broken ways, my malfunctioning.
My selfish tendencies.
My selfish tendencies. Yeah, that's good too.
Back in the day, I was once really struggling with post-traumatic stress disorder. And I mean, it occasionally flares up as those things do. But my therapist...
Like when I say flesh? Sorry.
Stop it. No, but one of the things that I do is when I'm feeling triggered, I try to control things.
Ooh.
And so that is my fleshly tendencies, if I'm in the biblical terms.
Yeah.
The temptations of the flesh is to control. And instead of trusting God or, processing a more healthy way to love instead of squash and control and contain. So I think that it's just our human brokenness. Where do I go when I'm feeling scared or broken or stressed? If it's not God, then it might be, quote unquote, the flesh.
I like that. I like brokenness because that makes me think of like things like my car.
Yeah.
It's supposed to work a certain way, but if something gets broken in it, if one of my spark plugs dies, when I hit the gas, it's not going to go. It's going to kind of stutter and not work how it's supposed to work.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with us, right? Because I'm broken for a variety of reasons, I don't work how God designed me to in a way, right?
Yeah.
So I like that, our brokenness.
Yeah, it's just, we need God.
Yeah. So we move on from flesh.
Please and thank you.
Next. Okay. So the next is, I voted to keep this one in, but it is the term death to life.
Is it?
Death to life.
Death to life. Why did you want to get rid of it?
Well, because I guess I couldn't think of any, it sounds dark, but it doesn't, I've never heard, it doesn't make me think of horror movies like Atonement does, So death to life. But why I kept it is because if you look at this through the lens of somebody who doesn't know anything about church or Jesus.
It's weird.
It's super weird. Death to life. Why would I like my life. Why would
I don't want to die to self.
Yeah.
That's the one I thought you were going to talk about.
That's actually next. So should we do a double?
Yes. Let's combine them.
Oh wait, no, it's the last one.
Oh
my gosh, pages everywhere. Oh my goodness.
Joel got very excited about this episode, you guys.
There's icons and everything, though I can't own those. That might have been chat who helped me. Die to self, very last one.
All right, let's combine them because I think they go together.
Pretty much, yeah. So why does this die to self and death to life? So this reminded me. Did you ever see the movie? Not a horror movie. The movie About a Boy with Hugh Grant. It was a lot of fun.
I like
really
Hugh
liked
Grant.
It. Hugh Grant's great, yeah. And then Nicholas Hoult, I think, is the other guy in it. It's a cute movie. But at one point, you're at their high school talent show, and there are these middle school talent show. There's these middle schoolers who just got done doing this rap, and they're like all cool. And the name of their group was Death for Life, and I just always thought that was funny because like harkens to little kids trying to be tough.
Yeah.
Urgh. But it reminded me of Death to Life.
It feels like Frankenstein.
It does.
You know?
Yeah.
Dr. Frankenstein.
Ooh.
Patching together all of these flesh parts. Can't get away from the words. And stitching himself a monster.
Yeah.
And he brings this dead thing back to life.
Yeah. From death to life. And I think what's interesting about this is like we have a culture that is, as a culture, we are terrified of death.
Well, yeah.
And naturally, because I don't want
aging.
to die. Yeah. And that's the thing. Yeah. I mean, how many anti-aging things do we have around? There's been so many shows that have hit Netflix and other services lately about these people who have gone to these crazy lengths to preserve their life and to lengthen their life, right?
But even like old ancient cultures and stories. You have like the Fountain of Youth.
Yeah.
No one wants to be old.
Yeah.
And it's happening, Joel.
Yeah.
It's happening.
To some, I am still 12 in here.
Mentally. That's another story. But yeah, we want to avoid death. We want to avoid aging.
Mm-hmm.
But Jesus says we're supposed to die to self.
Mm-hmm.
And
that does not sound fun.
Our culture, everything that is normal around us outside of church is like, you know what? Just don't. Just live. Just fight for everything you can to live and be young.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
here's where I feel like the two kind of differ. Death to life harkens back to like the resurrection of some evil being in a scary movie. Like
a Frankenstein.
Like a Frankenstein, yes. Oh yeah, exactly. Hey, you already got there. I just showed up. But yeah, it brings up those sorts of things. I was thinking of like Pet Sematary, but things coming back to life.
I love the differences. I'm like
You're like classic literature. I'm Stephen King.
And you know what? That's one of the reasons this works.
That's why you tuned in today.
Because you think one of us is weird right now. And it probably changes depending on who's listening.
True.
Yeah. So it could be that.
Could be, yeah. And I think that's what the cultural lens puts that on it. So
let's talk about what the Bible says.
What does the Bible say about from death to life? This is a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We've passed from death to life.
Mm-hmm. Now, in the Bible, did you know that when Bible words talk about death, it doesn't actually mean it doesn't always mean the actual decaying of our bodies. Like this, your heart stopping, you're no longer breathing. That's not always what they mean by death.
Oh.
Death can also mean separation.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know this.
Yes. And so when you look at it and it's talking about saving us from death to life, it's restoring a proximity, like a relationship.
Oh, cool.
And so instead of separated from God, we are brought near to God. We are made whole with God. We can live life with God. And so oftentimes when we think about death to life moments, we might think of Lazarus.
I would do the same thing.
It's weird. Okay. It's not good. Or Jesus, but that's like, they were the ones that got to do death to life.
Yeah.
Right? I'm really not wanting to be a zombie.
Same.
And so how does that work for us? When we think about being brought back to life, or that from death to life we're saved, whatever you want to phraseology it's really being made right and restored to a relationship with God, which ties into all the other words we've been talking about.
Right? Yeah. And like this is where, and I don't remember where, but where Paul talks about while you were dead in your sin.
Yes.
That's
you were separated from God.
Yeah. So it is a process then where we come to Christ and we learn to daily die to ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And so what does that really mean? I think that means like a denying of our fleshly desires.
Yeah, it's laying aside my desire for control.
Yeah.
And instead doing life with God in partnership with him. Again, so my relationship with him is restored. And so I will let him do the controlling because he is known as the sovereign creator of all things and the one who provides and is my Prince of Peace. Mm-hmm. So why would I want to control when he's there to drive?
Yeah. So really, these two can work together in that as we die to ourselves. No, we first pass from death to life and then continue to die to ourselves. And that's a daily thing.
Yeah,
right?
it's a continual choice that we're making to not go back to separation from God, to not go back to the desires of our flesh, but instead to do life with God.
Yeah.
Letting him drive. Jesus take the wheel and all that.
I don't know how I feel about that reference.
You're going to have it in your head all day long now.
Yup.
This is how I get back at him for all the flesh references.
I deserve it. Okay. I say we move on from that.
Yeah.
That was good. That was short and sweet. And that one, 2 of them.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Okay. Is this our last one? No, we have dos mas.
Dos mas. For all of you English speakers or Spanish speakers, we're trying to say 2 more.
Yeah. Okay, we'll just go in order here. The blood.
Oh, this is the drinking of the blood. And
This is
washed in the blood.
Yep. Yeah. All of the blood things.
This is the one I feel like is the most creepy.
Yes, because what is our cultural connotation? What are a bunch of our cultural connotations of blood? It's usually when there is blood, there has been death or failure or something bad.
It's always bad.
It's always bad.
The blood should stay inside, Joel.
Yeah, it's supposed to be in there. Yeah, and a lot of the imagery or the word pictures we use is being covered in the blood. And we just watched The Patriot the other day.
He was covered in blood.
Yeah, with the whole axe thing, the hatchet part, he was covered in blood. Yeah, it's a great scene.
It's a really good scene.
Yeah, it's a great scene. Yeah, he was such a great actor. But like that was not a happy time.
No.
And other times where our culture hears of someone covered in blood, it's, back to the zombies thing, right?
Yes.
It's blood everywhere. Blood.
If you get squeamish, I am so sorry for this episode.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that.
I have a few friends. I'm just going to give them warnings.
Here's a warning post.
Maybe we put this part in the beginning of the episode.
If y'all don't like blood.
We're going to talk about flesh and blood a lot. I'm sorry. It's helpful. I hope. But yeah, it's squeamish. Like my amazing husband can't watch like the doctor operation scenes because of all the flesh and blood.
Yeah, see that same here. I can't watch like the scalpel. I can't watch needles. Nope. I'm out.
Yeah.
I passed out once in life, and it was while I was getting one stitch in my finger. And because I'm really smart, I thought I would watch. Like, this will be fine. Next thing I know, the doctor's like banging my shoulder. Sir, are you okay?
I don't know why that makes me giggle.
It was a funny experience.
Your pain
in
makes me laugh.
You're welcome. You're welcome, everybody.
So yes, our culture, our world, our norm is when we hear blood, we think crime scenes and scary movies and I'm dying. There's too much blood. Yes.
Violence.
Yes. It's not good times.
Yeah. But as we're doing with all these terms, we're redeeming these because we're not thinking about what Western culture or what today's culture has as the connotation of blood. We are thinking about what did God mean when it was used, right?
Yeah.
And so back to the Leviticus 17 thing, life is in the blood.
Yes.
Right?
So, and that's our life force. When we talk about like, think biology class. Okay. If you have no blood moving in you, you do not have life.
Yep.
And so in the same way, back in the old ancient cultures, they're like, blood is the sign of life.
Mm-hmm.
And if the blood is outside of its body, then life is not.
Yeah.
That's just logic.
Yeah. It's kind of like the energy in a battery.
Yeah, absolutely. We need it to be inside there.
Yeah. Though we can't recharge.
I know. I wasn't going to nitpick your analogy, but I'm glad you did.
You just need new blood. No, that doesn't work.
Nope.
So what does God mean? And particularly, so there is the Old Testament, the Old Covenant, and the blood was most of the time talked about in like the sacrificial system, right?
Yeah.
Or the lamb's blood over the doorpost or the Passover. Right? And so that was, and all that time, it's all about being made right, being atoned for. And then we move to the New Covenant, the New Testament, and the blood that we hear about and read about and talk about is the blood of Jesus. And so this blood is, while it was surrounded with, there was pain, right? But it's good. And that blood is actually my life and your life, right? And it's my being brought back into oneness with God.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that this is one of those things where the ancient cultures plays a big part in why it's even in the Bible. And
Explain.
because, well,
That's good.
so way back in the desert. So if you ever watched Prince of Egypt, the really great movie, and I hear a really good musical is about to come to Linden. So if you're in town,
Oh, hey.
just watch out for that. But at the end, they've got the parting of the Red Sea, right? And all the fish are like, I'm late for work because there was this traffic impediment. I don't know. So they go through the waters and then they're in the desert. And they go up and they get the 10 Commandments. And God's like, you're going to do these things. And then they're like, well, we don't have an altar to actually give sacrifices on. And so God gives them very detailed instructions on how to build an altar and how to build like a tent that is the portable temple and all of that. And that is where we first see things being covered in the blood. And so when they had made like the fabric with all the detailed embroidery and all the different stuff that was going to be the portable temple and all of the candelabras and the little fancy roasting forks for the sacrificial meats and all the things, they would cover it. They would sacrifice a lamb for atonement, like paying for the sins. We're all broken humans. We did touch this stuff, so it's probably now tainted by our horrible brokenness. And so they would sacrifice a lamb or a goat or a cow, and they would dip leaves, hyssop, I think, into the blood, and then they'd spray it, smack the tent and the temple equipment, and put blood all over it. And I always think about the housewives who are watching that going, that was our best linens. What are you doing?
I wonder, like, that must have smelled awful.
I'm sure it did. I mean, that's maybe why they had such a big incense thing. Like, did you know there was a recipe for incense that only the priests knew how to make?
Really? I did not know that.
Now you do. Now you do.
That sounds like clickbait.
Do you want to know the secret ancient Levitical?
Nobody else knows. You'll never believe ingredient number 4.
Right? So, yeah, that's where we see this being covered and washed in the blood. Started way back then. And it's, again, this same God, same language, because it's old culture. We don't do that now. Now we have animal rights activists.
Yeah.
And Jesus, more importantly.
And that's a good point. We have, and that's built into our cultural knowledge now, right?
Our cultural norm is all the blood of the humans and the animals stays inside their bodies, and that's good.
Yeah.
And ancient culture was like, animals, it's actually really good if you drain it. Let's get it all out there.
It can get out. It's
fine. It's actually probably better.
Let's take it and use it.
Yeah. Now, again, different world. I'm not saying that we should go back to a sacrificial system.
No.
But
it's important to not judge other cultures based on things that based on our cultural. This is getting very philosophical.
They did not know a lot of the things we know. They didn't have, cars. They didn't have carbon dating. They didn't have biology class.
Laid candles.
They still didn't eat bacon there.
Ugh.
It was a sad, sad world. And so now those of us who can eat bacon, we might not understand all of their words.
True.
And that's okay. However, if something sounds weird, maybe go check it out. I highly recommend the Bible Project and the Bible Recap with Tara Lee Koppel. And they do a great job of breaking down some of these weird passages and kind of helping you understand a culture that is so far removed from ours.
Super good. Yeah, that's so good. So the blood. Bad cultural imagery.
But now
good.
We want to be, quote unquote, washed in the blood of the Lamb.
Yeah.
Because the Lamb is capital L. That's Jesus. And it's that whole first word we did with atonement.
Yeah.
It means we are now made right.
Brought back into a proper relationship with God because of that blood.
Because he was willing to pour out his life, the lifeblood, for us.
Are you ready for our last one?
I am, I think, hopefully.
I kind of wish we would have ended with blood, but too late. Last one is going to be dry bones. And I think
Isn't that a Mario character?
I don't know, but I can think of who you're probably referencing. Like one of the turtles. It's just
the skeleton dude?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's a Mario
character. And you can't actually kill them. Or you have to do other things, right? Because they just crumple and then they come back.
I really only know it from Mario Kart.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, if you know.
So this one, I think, I don't remember if There is a particular story, even before we started doing all these things, and I don't know if you were part of the conversation, but I remember somebody had brought up, there was misunderstanding about all these songs we sing about dry bones and these weird things like that.
Yeah,
Do you
there's like
remember
a
that?
whole. No, I wasn't part of that, but
Okay,
there
yeah.
are a bunch of weird songs, like
Yeah.
the whole "Dry Bones Come Alive"
Yeah, exactly.
in the name of Jesus.
Yeah. And if you haven't been in the church, if you're not familiar with a lot of different, Old Testament scripture, that's weird.
It is weird.
And I believe, like, I'm sure
Why
there
do the
were,
bones have to be dry?
yeah.
Are
How
some
long does
bones
that
not
take?
dry?
Yeah.
S- How
And
how
and then why are we going to have bones walking in some reanimated skeleton walking around? Is that what
right?
we're supposed to see?
What is happening here,
What is
guys?
this? So this is a direct reference from a vision that was given by God to Ezekiel.
Ooh, he's an Old Testament prophet.
He is.
Do you know what a prophet is?
I think so.
What do you think?
He's someone who speaks on behalf of God.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yay!
Well, they're like truth tellers,
Okay. Yeah.
but
Yeah.
like the truth as in capital T truth. And that's God. So when God gives you a message and then you go tell someone who needs to hear it, you're being a prophet.
Hey, cool. That's good. And these, like the books of the prophets, they were truth tellers to the nation of Israel,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
They were like the top 5 artist charts, like that kind of vibes.
Nice. That's good. I like that. Like, oh my gosh, Jeremiah's in town.
That's exactly the vibe.
Though they were never happy messages though, were they? They were always like, hey guys, Jeremiah, happy to be with you. Y'all stink. And stop doing this.
Or do we just need to look at it in a different way? Hey, you already know that you're screwed up. God has a better way.
Probably. Well, I guess we're going to see in this one. Ezekiel had some crazy things. At one point, wasn't he laying on his side for a year and cooking food over his own poo?
I think that was a different one, but they had a rough one.
Yeah, yeah.
To be an Old Testament prophet was not to live in a penthouse.
No. Top 5 was way different back then. So if we look at this story in Ezekiel, I have my verses here, but I forget the chapter. Is it also 17?
I don't know.
We'll never know. My bad. But this reads like a scary story.
Okay, let's break it down into little chunks because I can't take a big scary story all at once.
I was asking Sarah, should we read the whole thing? And we both think so. So I'm going to just read through it and then we'll just react as we go. So I'm going to start here in verse 3-ish. This is Ezekiel saying, then he asked me, son of man, can these bones become living people again? O sovereign Lord, I replied, you alone know the answer to that.
I would have just been like, duh, no.
Like, no, they're like dead.
They're like so dead.
Verse 4, then he said to me, he is in the Lord, speak a prophetic message to these bones and say, dry bones, listen to the word of the Lord. This is what the Lord says. Look, I'm going to put breath in you and make you live again. I will put flesh and muscle on you and cover you with skin. I will breathe into you and you will come to life. Then you will know that I am the Lord.
There is so much in biology class that tells me none of that makes sense.
What about tendons?
I wasn't thinking like that. I was like,
it's like what?
Dry bones listen. Our ears are not bones. So how do they listen?
Oh, good point.
I guess there's teeny tiny ones really far down in your ears.
And this is also kind of like the blood once it comes out. Like it's not supposed to be out. Once a bone is out,
like it's not going to be like, yeah,
you don't
sure,
really put it back
listen.
in. Yeah.
You know?
Like, oh no, my femur. Oh, there, that's better. You know?
So, but then he's like, okay, I'm going to breathe into you and make you live again, but we don't have lungs yet. So maybe I'm overthinking this, Joel.
That's okay.
Overthinking this.
At this point, it's a little weird, but now what I'd like us to do is, in one hand, or on one side of your mind, pretend that you don't know scripture and that you don't know like church culture, and think of this through the eyes of a scary story. Think of some weird noises in the background. Verse 7. So I spoke this message just as he told me. Suddenly, as I spoke, there was a rattling noise all across the valley. The bones of each body came together and attached themselves as complete skeletons. Then as I watched, muscles and flesh formed over the bones. Then skin formed and covered their bodies, but still they had no breath.
Did you ever play Zelda? Breath of the Wild?
No, I haven't done Breath of the Wild yet.
It's the best one.
I know. I keep waffling over whether I should buy a Switch or not, but I don't want to. When I get money, I buy guitars.
I have noticed that.
Yeah.
But like there are these at night when you play Zelda.
Oh, yeah.
These little skeleton dudes come out of the ground
Yep.
and it does have like a little bone rattling situation. And then when you hit them with your stick or your sword or whatever it is, the bones all fall apart. They're not dead yet.
That's right.
They all roll back together and reassemble if you don't hit them again.
Yes.
So this is, I'm surrounded in the dark, and it's a spooky Zelda level, and all these bones keep reanimating all
Yeah.
around me.
So it's not just in Breath of the Wild, it's also in
In
what was the
everything.
one with that I had
The
on the
Triforce
Wii?
one.
Oh, it's the one where you can ride your horse out of the castle. It's like
Yeah.
the dark, I don't remember. It's good.
Zelda's great.
I love Zelda.
Good music too.
So good.
All right.
Then he said to me, "Speak a prophetic message to the winds, son of man. Speak a prophetic message and say, this is what the sovereign Lord says. Come, O breath, from the four winds." I don't know what that means. "Breathe into these dead bodies so they may live again."
Didn't God just say he was going to do that?
Yeah, he did. And now, through the eyes of a Christian, breathe again. Like that's awesome. But if you're there and there's this valley filled with bones and all of a sudden they start reanimating
And then there's wind from all the four corners.
Yeah, I don't like this is creepy,
It's creepy.
right? It's creepy, kind of weird. I think we'll end there.
I have so many questions about all of this.
Yes. I don't know what the four winds are. I don't know what that means. I'm sure it means something specific, but I've never looked into that.
I have not really done a deep dive onto this passage as of yet. This might inspire me to do so.
Mm.
Because my rule is if you read something in the Bible and it seems weird or frustrating or confusing, my slogan is, that's a treasure hunting clue.
Oh, nice.
It's just God's invitation for me to sleuth after him like Sherlock Holmes. I'm
Like
going to go in there because there's probably treasure.
Yeah,
I just don't understand it yet because it's in a foreign language.
that's good. Yeah, that's smart.
So come back to me next week after your vacation and I might be like, hey, let me tell you what I found.
Let me tell you about the four winds. I'll
So-
listen to you unless there's like a pile of bones behind you. Then I'm running. And you're like, nope, I'm out.
So when God says humans,
Yeah.
hey, Ezekiel, take a look at these dry bones. Do you even think they can come back to life? All of us are like, no,
No,
I really don't want them to because that's creepy.
Yeah.
But God does the things.
Mm-hmm.
He can make a whole army to help fight your battles out of something that everyone in the world would say is dead and hopeless and gone.
Yep.
And I think that's kind of the main point of the story, right?
Mm-hmm. And yeah, that God can bring back to life things that were dead, and that can be all sorts of things. But like he's talking about us.
Mm-hmm.
You can feel tired and depleted, but our life comes from him.
Yeah.
And here's, I think, the problem with it. So back when this was written, back when God gave this vision, we didn't have Spirit Halloween stores, right? You didn't have a yearly celebration that, well, I don't know. I'm sure they had something. Skeletons are a cultural type thing, right? And
Yeah.
they mean a certain thing, and they usually mean something scary. And over the last 100 years or so through Hollywood, when there is a walking around skeleton, that is typically bad.
Yes.
And we have been conditioned to think of it like that. So looking at this story without those lenses can really help us get through to the bottom of what God is trying to tell us. He's not trying to have us be scared that we need to hit it with our sword.
You're right.
Yeah.
It's not that they're going to come after us to kill us.
No.
It's something else.
Yeah.
And so later on in that passage, it talks, this is the sovereign Lord says, my people, I will open your graves of exile. I will cause you to rise again. I will bring you back to the land of Israel. And when this happens, my people will know that I'm the Lord. I will put my spirit in you, and you will live again and return to your own land. You'll know that I am the Lord, and I have spoken. I have done this. Yes, the Lord has spoken. So when the Bible has a phrase that repeats itself really often, really close together, then that's what the biblical authors want you to focus on. So in that last bit, I, the Lord, have spoken, I, the Lord, have spoken, happens really frequently in close proximity.
Yeah.
So we need to pay attention. The Lord speaks and things happen. That's what he's saying, right? And sometimes you're in a place of exile. And when Ezekiel was a prophet, the nation was in exile.
Yeah.
And they were far away from their home. They were feeling beaten down, conquered, hopeless. And so God is sending this vision to Ezekiel saying, hey, there's still hope because the God who breath and spirit are very much the same vibe, by the way, in biblical Hebrew.
Oh, yeah. So
Yeah.
It's
so
not just
the
breathing
breath,
with your lungs.
no, it's like the wind that comes out of you. And so when Genesis, beginning a creation story, the breath of God hovered over the waters, the breath of heaven, the breath of God is going to still. He's going to put my spirit in you. Earlier, he said he was going to breathe into us. That's the same vibes.
Mm-hmm.
And so when God puts his spirit in us, and as Christians, we believe he has done that,
Mm-hmm.
then we will be brought to life. Same thing, death to life. Earlier we were talking about. We are reanimated. We have new life in God, and nothing is hopeless with him.
Yeah. He is a God of restoration.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
So I think without doing a deep dive, that's what we're supposed to carry away from this message and this story.
I agree wholeheartedly.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think that's it.
So when we sing weird songs about dry bones come alive, what should we think instead of Zelda's zombie skeletons?
We should think of God as, that God is a God of restoration. God is a God who has promised he will breathe his life into us. So if I'm singing dry bones come alive, dry bones raise, what's the Brandon Lake song? I know a name.
Yeah.
Dead men, dead things come alive. When we're singing that, think about what are those areas that you feel lifeless in? What are those things, those parts of your spirit that just feel
defeated or hopeless?
Yeah. Yeah. God doesn't leave us, but will restore us.
I like that.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
So have you had an area that felt hopeless or a time frame that you felt
Yes.
hopeless and God brought life there?
Yeah, I do. And yeah, I've struggled with anxiety for a long time, and it's not gone.
Yeah.
But I have found God meet me in showing me how to manage it, and B, bringing me relief at random times, random spots, but just reminding me that he is there carrying me. That's what those dry bones thing would be for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
How about you?
Oh, lots and lots of different areas. I'll go with a relational one. I have someone I was very, very close to back high school days. Holding my baby, like one of the first people to hold my baby, sort of things. And then they fell off to me. They fell off the face of the planet, right? And it turns out they went into drugs and alcohol and all sorts of other activities that they were like, well, I knew that you were a God human and you wouldn't want to hang out with me like that. Nope. And it broke our relationship. Not because I was like, you gross, you're sinful, but just because there was shame involved and there was broken relationship. And eventually God chased them down, brought us back into proximity, and I was able to love them still in their broken space. And God eventually was like, hey, actually, you're not too far from me either. And later on, that person has told me that they felt too far removed from God. Like they had gone too far into all these other sins of the flesh, and that they felt like they couldn't come back to church, even though they knew something God was missing. But no one is too far gone.
Nope.
No bones are too dry.
Yeah.
And now we live and we chat, I wouldn't say every week, but close to it.
Cool.
Even if it's over text or sharing like, hey, I learned this thing, I read this thing, I think you'd like it. And it's beautiful. Our relationship is restored. That person has come back to life.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And that really is the theme of all of these things and this whole series, right?
Yeah.
As we kind of wrap this word nerds thing up.
Some of these weird words are full of power.
Yes.
And when we pause to actually investigate them and to get back to why does this word or phrase even happen in church? Why do we say drink the blood, be washed in the blood? There's a really powerful reason behind it. But we're so far removed from the original audience that we need to pause and make sure we understand. Yep.
So our advice to all of us listening is when you find yourself triggered in some sort of way by a word, if someone says flesh and you're like, ugh. But whatever the word might be, don't shy away from that, but look deeper.
Yeah.
And try to figure out what is it, what are the images coming to mind? Why is it that I don't like this word? And then, do a treasure hunting thing like you were talking about, and figure out, okay, what is the real meaning of this? If we still use this in church, there must be something rich behind it. And that would be our encouragement to y'all.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If you need help with treasure hunting tools, because, archaeologists use specific tools, and so do we when we dive into the Bible, go ahead and drop us a comment below, and I'll happily share some of my favorite tools. For now, though, check out the Bible Project and the Bible Recap.
Yep.
We'll link those in the show notes. And then also, again, reminder, if you want a bonus Word Nerd episode that we'll force Joel into, drop your words we haven't talked about yet into the comments.
Yeah, because, this is fun. I like talking about these, so
I know.
I'd love to do some more. See, that's permission right there.
It's been a pleasure to push up our nerdy little glasses and talk about these weird church words. So go ahead and share with someone else you think maybe has been stumbling across some of these creepy words at church. Share it with your small group, and we look forward to sharing a brand new series with you next week. For too long?